I don't know what.
You know that famous.
It's like you know me, the big Elden Ring guy.
That big hat from Elden Ring. You don't remember that?
Oh, like the big no.
Hat.
The fucking Ronnie hat. Yeah, the big.
It was so genuine.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know that? You know the hat? Yeah, the hat. Yeah. Welcome to episode 98 of Press Any Key. I'm your host, Penn Apparano. With me, as always, my co-host, Nick McFly. He's here. He's back, everyone. Back. He tried to make it in Vegas, but turns out if you can't make it there, you really can't make it anywhere. That's what they say. And everyone, give it up for Michael Lawrence Burke. He's here. Everyone, wow, it is so weird without the intro. Without the intro, I think I take the double intro. Yeah. What's it called? This is like those music videos we used to watch where they took all the audio out and then they replaced it with like sneakers and stuff. And just a swishing or Shia LaBeouf roaring at who's the other one in the music video? It's him and somebody else who's actually like pretty famous now. You know what I'm talking about? It's that Sia music video that Shia LaBeouf's in.
Oh, in the cage.
Yeah, in the cage.
Yeah, okay.
Social media. You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at pressandykey.tv, and we should start plugging our Discord too. So we're gonna post that down below as well. But yeah. So how was Vegas, Nick? Tell me, how much did you lose?
Only $200. I came out like
I
consider that a win. I consider that a win.
Actually, hold on. You don't have to tell me how much, but did you spend higher or lower than $1,500 while you're out there?
No, absolutely not.
That is not how you answer this question. Higher or lower?
No, I did not reach $1,500. So lower.
Really?
No.
Get the fuck. Where'd you guys stay?
We stayed one night at the Aria, and then the rest of the trip was an Airbnb. So that's probably where we saved most of our money, was the Airbnb.
Yeah,
we had a grill in the back.
You're taking your life in your own hands with that Airbnb.
It was sweet as fuck. We had like a full like basketball court in the back, a sunken fire pit, a Blackstone grill. It was fucking awesome.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, how much time did you guys spend at the Airbnb?
A good amount. I mean. I'm not like really a gambler or anything, so I didn't need to feel the need to be at a casino the whole time.
I mean, neither am I. But that was the thing, is that like I felt like when I went to Vegas, I need to have just a place to sleep, like just literally a place to recharge the battery and then get back out there.
We also had like a pool table.
Like, come on, Burke, you can't tell me that's not.
You're like, I need a couch in the back of a casino.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like a pair of sunglasses.
Kat's gonna get a job as a janitor at the casino just for the 4 days that he's in.
That's what I'm saying. A pair of sunglasses and a urinal, and I'm good, baby.
Urinal.
You know what I mean?
God.
I mean, I got to get up and piss, bro. I need a couch, sunglasses, and a urinal.
So like this room.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, with the toilet not being too far away. Like,
I mean, I got a window right there.
Yeah,
so,
you got two windows
and a funnel. So because who wants to work?
Let's get that set up.
Anyway, yeah, next weekend we'll have a tech day.
We had a pool table, like not in the kitchen, but there was like a room right off the kitchen. So we played like a dozen games of pool every day. Like we were just hanging out.
This is so wild. I don't know why you guys went to a desert to hang out.
We do. Pool. I mean, we went to Fremont Street for a couple nights. We went to.
So you guys didn't go out every night?
No.
This is so crazy to me.
We went to a basketball game one night. That was cool.
What basketball game?
I don't know. It was a college UNVC. Is that something?
This is so weird.
I have no idea.
Who made the
UNLV?
Who was spearheading the activities?
Bobby Grimes.
Oh my God, Bobby.
I had a great time.
Hit me up, bro.
Bobby, I had a great time.
I'm sure they did, but I'll show you boys a better time.
Oh God.
Do you guys even know about the?
Is Pat coming on to us right now?
Do you guys even know about the Five Below bar I went to? Did I tell you guys about that?
No.
I went to a bar that was completely made of ice.
I like it, like Five Below, like the fucking
yeah. But that's literally what it's called, Five Below. And when you're out there, you're like, oh, it's just like, and they're like, what's that? Because they don't know what that is.
They don't have it.
But either way, they have this bar called
pending.
They had this bar called Five Below, which when you go there, you have to pay an exorbitant entry fee. But they give you. Liz got the premium bundle, so she got the fur coat, and I just got the expedition coat.
Liz looked like Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And
Liz just going up to people, "Nice to meet you."
yeah, exactly. So they had everything in the room is made out of ice, including the glasses you drink out of, right? Which the drinks were really good. However, they coated all of the benches with fur and pelts from elk that Rogan himself shot. Okay, like that's exactly how fucking like fine this this fur was, and it was all over the place. It was like wasn't even neatly put on. Like half my ass cheek was on the ice of the fucking bench because that they just ran out of elk skin to put there. So
Rogan's still out there hunting. you got to meet your quota, Rogan.
Exactly. And then the funny part is like I went out in Vegas, so I was wearing shorts. So I'm sitting there like freezing my ass off, and I just chug my drink, and I'm like, let's go. I don't care how much money I paid. Let's just go to the next place.
Wow, sounds like a great time.
And Liz is like, hold on, I want to enjoy my drink. I'm like, yeah, but I'm freezing my ass off. You could kill that right now, and we could go to the friggin' speakeasy next door and not freeze our asses off and also get fancy beverages. And that's exactly what we did.
The only time I've been to one of those places was on a cruise to the Bahamas, and it was the same exact thing. I was in shorts and like a t-shirt, and they're like, here's a big ass parka.
Yep. Yeah.
So
wait, there was an ice palace in the Bahamas.
On the cruise ship.
On the cruise ship.
On the cruise ship to the Bahamas. It was I don't even remember. I think it was Norwegian or something like that, but the drinks were
the folly
good.
of man.
And you mean to tell me you went to Vegas and you didn't see Carrot Top?
I didn't see Carrot Top, but I did go to the Omega Mart. Do you know Omega Mart?
Is that huge?
It's it's basically an art installation.
Not what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Glad I didn't say
never mind. I did not go here.
The front of it, I don't know what you thought it was, but you go into the front of it and it's like a grocery store, but everything's off and weird, and it's all fake products,
like a North Korean grocery store,
kind of like that. Yeah, but everything's like. I wish I could give you could pull it up, but it's all like weird, odd products, and you can actually buy stuff from the grocery store. But if you poke around enough, you'll find secret passages. Like
Was
there's
this
one
a Meow Wolf?
Yes, it's
okay.
Meow Wolf.
Yeah,
you can like open a freezer door, and it leads you to the back in this like the corporate offices of the parent company.
Yeah,
and there's testing labs, and it's all the rooms are like art installations.
This looks crazy.
Yeah,
the one room I can give you an example was there was a room, it was completely pitch black except for red laser beams crisscrossing the room. And
you play it?
You could play them.
Yeah.
So there's all stuff like that, and they weave it into a storyline of the corporate entity behind the Omega Mart doing all this testing, but it's just like this incredible interactive art experience.
Yeah, I had went to one of those, I can't remember where, and then when I just went to Denver, they had a whole Meow Wolf thing, and I was like, I have to go back because these things are so cool.
Totally worth it.
Because they have like such a weird, trippy underlying story for it that you basically just like go through and find little notes and listen to little things, and you kind of like piece together the whole thing for yourself.
There's like phones with like extensions written down, and you call the extension and listen to an audio recording. It was really jam-packed with people. We went after 8 when it becomes like adult hours and they open up the bars.
Yeah.
But like if you spend a lot of time in there, you can piece together this storyline that they have going, and it's really interesting.
I'll show y'all some pictures. I took a bunch when I was in there.
Pictures.
Yeah, I did edibles, and then I went to the Avenger station.
You would have liked Omega Mart on edibles. I wish we did edibles.
Been overwhelming.
Overwhelming for sure.
No, Pat,
it's overwhelming already.
It is a visually overwhelming kind of thing, like in itself, because it's so trippy and like just off enough that you're like, this is like, those images where it's like, I definitely am having a stroke.
You went to a museum with me. What was I most concerned about when we went to the museum?
Finding the exits.
No.
Museum did
we went to the Harry Potter exhibit together at the Philadelphia Museum.
Okay.
What was I most concerned about?
Well, the train floor was closed.
The train floor was I didn't even know they had one, and we're going back for that. And number 2, what did I keep finding and keep calling out to everybody?
I don't remember this one.
All the bracelets. Hey, I found somebody's bracelet.
Do you think I should return it?
Finding those things, like you had to get this bracelet to like buzz into the fucking exhibit, and I guess people were just dropping them once they get in there, and they were all over the floor. And every like 10 or so minutes, I'd find another one, and I would be like, it got to the point where I'd be like, look, you guys, I don't want to say anything, and Mike was finally like, just put it down. So if you
Mike
see
had
it,
to be a parent
say
that day.
nothing. Like,
I was like, they don't care about him. It's literally like the 3D goggles.
and
in the
then
movie
after
state,
we
like,
after we had that
get rid of it.
conversation, we go to the underneath the stairs bit, and when I lay back and like stick my hands up to spread out, I literally feel
reach
one
up.
go in between my fingers. I'm like, what the fuck?
I just picture like an old man with a push broom sweeping him up every night.
honestly, yeah.
Pat was gonna ruin that guy's livelihood.
They laid him off after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and then but I want to go back for that train room.
I know. The big heart in the train room.
Yeah,
Big heart.
Oh, the big heart. That's right. Yeah, because I need that fucking trauma in my life.
Jeez.
Anyway, all right. Speaking of trauma, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Netflix. They're doing a live action adaptation.
Not only that, they got a whole slate of shit
That's
coming
right,
out.
and I did. I got the graphic, by the way. So we'll go ahead and pull that up. So I wrote this down here to start out, but you guys obviously are gonna know what the context of all this is because I watched the show as a kid, but I never really got into it.
I deadass forgot we were talking about this Avatar.
Yep.
And I was like, is he dropping something brand new? I was like, did they make an Avatar?
6 more movies.
Yeah, but I was like, oh great, no, like the good Avatar.
But I watched it here and there as a kid, and it wasn't till COVID that I rewatched the entire series and really fell in love with Avatar. And the Book of Korra I watched through COVID as well. Mike, what's your history?
Yeah, I had watched it, I think in college, like the original Last Airbender, and I watched it, obviously, I think it was done at that point.
Yeah.
And I just binged the whole thing because I was like, this is incredible. And then I was so stoked when Korra came out and basically did the exact same thing. Like, that was when I waited. I was like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah?
And then, because I just want to watch it all the way through. And it's so good, dude.
So
like,
good.
I just, like, everything about it is...
Peak. I mean, obviously, the era of Nickelodeon that we grew up with is like golden age Nickelodeon, but I mean, I think Avatar is like a cut above. Like, this is adult. It's like adult entertainment, and you know, it's good for kids and adults.
Nick at Night. I knew people who were way younger than the normal sitcom audience that were introduced to sitcoms super early because was it
Nick
9 o'clock? 9 o'clock?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it
So when
turned
the
over.
Cosby
to Nick.
Show turned
It
on.
was Cosby, which maybe in retrospect that wasn't such a great idea. George Lopez for sure. I always saw them jumping
That's
on
when-
trampolines at 9:30.
At 3
I
in the
think
morning,
he-
you're just
I think-
woken up by...
And then who is the other one? The Brady Bunch for sure. I watched through there. So my point is just that it had legendary content on that channel. So of course it had a good mix, especially in that era.
We were so
of
lucky.
young children and people who are into that 90s show.
Oh, God.
So let's take a look at some of these. So first they're starting out. This is pretty far out, like, you know what I mean, like with zero precedent. So like let's hope this doesn't just fall apart halfway through.
Yeah.
Because as I remember, this first one was supposed to come out a couple years ago, but the writing team left because it didn't mesh with what Netflix wanted to do.
Yeah, I think it was something
Right.
along that. Yeah, there was like they were talking about it, and I mean, we don't talk about the actual live action one that came out. That like
That's not canon.
that's no. That was just like they didn't have rights to any of the actual things, so they were like, I'm Ong.
Is that why they kept calling him Dang the whole movie?
Dang.
Honestly,
Dang,
that
bro.
wasn't a rights thing. That was trying to be more like culturally accurate to what the pronunciations would be.
yeah, I'm just, but I thought there was a rights issue.
I don't
Didn't-
think so.
No.
No. I just think M. Night Shyamalan was the wrong guy for
Amazon
the
spent
job.
$1 billion on the compendium of of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then built a whole season of a show that isn't good.
Amazon?
This joke
I
didn't land
don't,
with
right
Nicholas.
over my head. Right over my
Lord
head.
of the Rings.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
forgot that show came out.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
people have.
Oof.
All right. Anyway, let's get this going here. So they're starting off with book 1, water. I don't know what that means. Explain to me what book 1. Explain to an
So,
idiot.
Did you watch the show?
No.
Go ahead, Nick.
Each season, there's 3 seasons of the original series, and it's Aang, who is the Avatar, who was a
Airbender.
So I was gonna say wind.
Yes.
Wind. I was like,
I know he's an airbender. I know
But
he's got
so
two friends.
Each season focused on him learning the other three.
Right. And like when the
elements.
Fire Nation attacked is the last one, right?
No, Fire Nation attacked before the series.
Right.
That's the socio-political climate of everything.
Right. The Fire Nation is no good, but I thought the whole thing is he's the last one. Every season he learns a new element, and then the last season he takes on the Fire Nation.
Yes.
Yeah. Good enough.
Because
Okay.
there's they've been in control as a political force, but leading up to the end of the final season there's gonna be this event that enables them to literally dominate and wipe everybody out.
Yeah.
So those are cool. I don't really think we need a new retelling of the 3 books of the Avatar Last Airbender, but what I am fucking stoked about is October 10th, 2025, Adult Team Avatar, which picks up with the same cast, same animation style, looks like, and just follows their adventures as adults.
Man, so like they're teasing you summer 2023. So this summer you're getting book 1, Water. Then summer 2025, 2 years after that, then you're getting book 2, which is Earth.
And then shit
Then
picks
in the
up.
fall in 2025 is Adult Team Avatar, which is definitely not the name of that show.
Yeah, they definitely haven't come up with something yet.
Winter 2025, new Earth Avatar. So that is new lore.
This is it after Korra. Korra was a water avatar first. Now Aang was an air avatar first. Now we have an Earth avatar first.
So this will be like they're going sequentially, after Aang, then there's Korra, then there's whoever this new one is. I kind of just wish they would just go out, switch timeline, throughout the timeline, go back 200 years, then jump into the future. And
I think it worked with Korra. Like that was kind of cool because you got to see the progression of society and you got to see like
the aftermath of
the aftermath of everything that happened. You get to see how they're like industrializing and kind of changing things. So it's kind of like a modernized, I don't want to say like it's not like post-apocalyptic or cyberpunky, but like almost in a way.
It mirrors the jump from pre-industrial age to industrial age in the real world.
In Japan too, specifically.
Yeah, so it is interesting. What they kind of do is they take early industrial age technology, but infuse it with benders. So there's like some of them who work in like fire benders, like creating power for
and
cities
like coal
and
plants
shit.
and shit like that.
Blowing glass.
Blowing glass, yeah. Blowing out backs.
Blowing backs and blowing glass.
Okay, all right. Anyway,
so this will now take place. Assuming this follows the timeline, it could potentially be closer to like modern day 80s.
Yeah,
like
also
somewhere in
known
there.
as the late Cretaceous period.
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous. All right, so then new Earth Avatar, then Zuko. Okay, I assume that Zuko, he's getting his own animated movie in 2026.
That's gonna be awesome.
He's the Fire Nation guy that the fan base likes.
Yes,
that's
if you
why
see an
he's
adult team Avatar, he's become what he transitioned to a good guy.
Oh, okay.
He was like the equivalent protagonist of Aang, or the antagonist of Aang. Like the same age, kind of like he was a Fire Nation dude.
One of the like best villain stories I think I've ever seen, because he, you really see him go through the cycle of realizing where he went wrong and kind of rehabilitating.
Right. Almost
like
comparable to Doctor Doom and Fant Forstick.
Exactly.
The perfect villain.
Perfect.
That's right.
I heard a lot of speculation that this would be about was it something about him like finding his mother.
Yeah, there's a lot of like weird the whole family stuff that's basically gone on with his sisters and everybody, and like because they're like royalty.
Yeah.
In the Fire Nation, so there's a lot of like complex things about where you need to sit, where you should be, what's your destiny, what is not your destiny, what does your family want you to do. So I think it's going to really explore a lot more of that, and it'll be kind of like bridging the gap, almost in a Star Wars way of like what happened before and what happened now.
Everything rhymes.
Everything
but for me that'll be interesting because if you look at everything else up to this point, it's like redoing the original series. Then Adult Team Avatar, it's like the same cast of characters. The new Earth Avatar is going to be like, okay, this new Avatar doing the journey of learning all the elements again. Zuko seems like it'll be the first time where it's exploring a different aspect of the world through a character we already know, but it's like not thinking about the Avatar anymore. It's like just within the world of it.
Right.
Okay, so then we have this spin-off animated series. This is the part of this graphic that I get into the okay, so we're at hopes and dreams now.
Yeah.
We are actively developing an idea for this, but nothing is essentially greenlit. And then the other two have definitely not been talked about yet.
No.
Like they have a rough idea of where they want to go, but there's no possible way. My question is, why is there no video game?
That's
Honestly,
a good question.
that's a great question.
You know?
What I'm wondering,
There might be. They could be trying to use this as like a jumping off point to
Hopefully.
do some video games. Because,
Yeah, and then they can put it on the Google Play Store, and then you can open it on your phone on Netflix.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You
And
can-
then
you
not
can-
even be on the platform anymore.
They can put it on Stadia. Oh,
They literally,
no, they can't.
they literally put a button that takes you off their platform.
fucking stupid. What I'm wondering is, they went through the trouble of coming up with a graphic for the first book 1 Avatar: Last Airbender live action, and then
didn't even realize.
for Earth and Fire, they just tinted
Oh,
it. They didn't
yeah.
even they didn't even change the colors. They just put a green
Also,
and red
this
filter
is
over
definitely
top.
just a screen grab from an episode or maybe an animated film.
He looks too old. It might be like fan art.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. What's interesting though is I think that they're gonna wait and see for the spin-off, like that, like TBD and everything. I think they're gonna be like, okay, did that adult team Avatar do well? Did Zuko do well?
Yeah.
What do we want to do? One of those.
Actually, before we wrap this up, that is the question I have to ask you guys. Is that does none of this just feel a little bit like 2012 or 2013 DC films
Getting ahead of themselves?
Like getting ahead of themselves. Because listen, I'm not saying that because I think the Fear Street trilogy is a good representation of Netflix making great films. I think All Quiet on the Western Front is another great example of that. However, when it comes specifically to genre films, it seems, especially in this area, it seems like they struggle to tell a compelling story. That isn't a television show. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying here is that like outside the animated series, like you look at something like one of their biggest projects, Adam Project was the one that we watched, and what's that other one?
Red.
Chris Hemsworth. Red Notice.
Yeah.
Red Notice, the Chris Hemsworth one.
I don't even know. Oh,
Extraction.
Extraction.
I think.
I
Yeah.
didn't see any of that.
So like
shit.
all those movies, like
That's exactly the point.
They go in between absolute ass to like middlingly okay.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying here is that like if they're full on doing 3 films like that, what are your expectations knowing what you know?
My question is, so I know the live action stuff, they had like creative differences with the original creators. I'm wondering if the adult team Avatar and the Zuko series movie, are those going to be the original creative teams? Because it looks like it's the same art style. So I have faith in that. The live action, I'm a little worried about, being that they're with the creative differences. But
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. This is one of the ones where I was like, oh, I didn't ask for this, but I don't mind that it's happening.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's like it's cool. I didn't ask for this. It's cool to have. Don't
I
get
love
me
that
wrong.
card. Does it come in blue? Okay, but yeah, I get what you're saying. That it's
Yeah.
like it's nice. It's one of those things that it's like it's the thought that counts. Is basically what you're.
it is the thought that counts.
Is where you should be at right now, expectation wise. It's the thought that counts, and we should all of you should be excited.
it's that gift you get on Christmas, and you're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, like
An avocado.
yeah. Your dad tries, like
He really did try.
it's gonna be good for the Earthbender one. It's gonna be good for the Zuko one. So
Yeah.
there's gold in possible a shit sandwich, but we'll see.
Sure.
All right.
There's nuggets in them turds.
There's nuggies in them turds.
That's not just corn in that shit.
That's nuggets.
It's nuggets. All right. So, speaking of nuggets,
Damn it.
Wizards of the Coast, D&D. Look,
Pat's frustrated.
I don't play D&D. I keep asking people around me to, and all they keep saying is, yeah, it can be a lot of fun if you have a good dungeon master.
When have you asked? Because Nick and I both have played D&D.
No, I have
Never
definitely.
once said
Yes,
anything to
I've
us.
also said it to Danny as well. I've said it to you guys multiple times. I was like, I would be willing to
Not
try
once.
it if someone wanted to play. Set up a night.
You
Nick and I
gotta,
have-
Be the dungeon master.
who's going to be the DM?
Who's gonna be doing that?
Mike?
Maybe.
I feel like you could do it.
I think it'd be fun. I got to get the books.
You're
It's the
very-
role you were born to play.
Mike is a very ordered, organized person.
That is true.
with just a little bit of like spite.
Speaking of actually, yes. Speaking of ordered 7 days. Do you guys know that game has more active players than Skyrim?
Well, Skyrim is old.
So it's 7 days.
We're on alpha.
They
20.
literally came out a year apart.
That's a fair point. But everybody played when Skyrim came out. Everybody played it. When 7 Days came out, some people played it for 10 years.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. That would
That's
be
why
us.
it has more active players.
Because today I decided to look at the Steam charts. I was like, let me just see what's going on.
Yeah.
What's popular? And like the
Shares-
normal guys were up at the top, and there was nothing that like was new or catching me off guard. So I just decided to like look up games that I play, and like Bully has Bully Scholarship Edition has over 1,200 daily active users. How? I mean, they're keeping that server on for 1,200 people.
Jesus.
But that was also back in the day where you didn't have to be connected to the internet to play a video game. So,
Right.
I miss
all right.
those days.
Anyway, so there's controversy going on right now in the D&D community or the tabletop RPG community in general, and that is because Wizards of the Coast, who puts out or who owns, I guess, the IP for D&D, they are
We're sorry.
I guess you could just say they're overextending. You know what I'm saying? Or overreaching, I guess is the best way to put it. So anyway, the controversy here is over something called the Open Game License, which this is a guarantee that all creators of third-party content are able to make unofficial content and profit from it without having to throw in like some points up to the boss. This way Wizards of the Coast can't really like get in on your revenue stream if people find your unofficial merch popular, you know? And obviously that's good to have because that nurtures a community, a respectful community. Well, maybe not according to some of the things I've seen on Twitter. But anyway, so Wizards of the Coast apparently said that they were going to, or a document was leaked rather, that had what was called a new OGL, a new open game license titled Open Game License 1.1. And this would restrict and remove protections offered in the original OGL, such as, and here were some of the big highlighted ones, was content creators making more than $750K a year would have to pay 25% of all revenue made with D&D to Wizards of the Coast.
That's crazy.
Wild.
That is fucking
absolutely
crazy.
wild.
That is exactly like Nintendo would be like if you had a video that had Nintendo game footage in it, you have to register your channel with us and be a part of our partner program. And then when people started doing it, find out Nintendo was taking like 12% of your whole channel revenue, and it was like, well, no, I just won't cover Nintendo. And then I think they kept up with that for like what, a year or two, maybe 3, and then as soon as they found out no one was creating content around Nintendo games anymore, they lifted that.
They're like,
up.
oh,
so
fuck that.
yeah,
Well, it's wild to just think that like even if you have a partnership or something like that. I mean, $750K is a lot, but don't big streamers make a shit ton of money.
yeah.
So that's 25% after. That's a big ass wealth tax.
So then the new OGL used language that would enable Wizards of the Coast to profit from user-generated content without paying the original creator. So Nick, let's say you create a popular monster, right? And you put it in your home.
I already did.
Yeah. And you put it in your mom and pop like fucking nerd trading card store, right? That gets popular. Wizards of the Coast can just start manufacturing that on their own now.
This feels like not exactly 1-to-1, but remember when like
The Titans? Yeah,
fucking was
I
it
do.
Monsanto. It's like if your seeds blows off, if this one farmer's seeds that they bought from us blows onto your field, you owe us money for that corn you grew.
Yeah, exactly.
What a reference.
That's what I get for listening to political podcasts.
Boy, man, good thing everyone who listens to this and hosts this is up on their fucking agriculture.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
You know trains? I know agriculture.
No, Nick, I know model trains, okay?
He knows model agriculture.
Yeah, that's true. I was in model agriculture in high school.
So, many third-party outlets announced new rule sets and open rule sets to avoid combating Wizards of the Coast on any revenue concerns. Now, I did not list the What's it called? I did not list the actual. Here we go. So Kobold Press, one of the most popular third-party producers of 5e modals, announced
Modules.
that. Oh, is it modules?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Announced that it would create its own open and subscription-free fantasy rule set in order to avoid future entanglement with Wizards' unpopular decisions. Notable 5e content creator Matt Colville said that he would make his own system as well. Finally, a number of large RPG companies led by Paizo
I think so.
announced the Open RPG Creative License, or ORC.
Orc.
Yeah, well,
Such a
how
good
perfect.
damn name
That's a
for
great
it.
How perfect.
acronym.
Which is intended as a permanent and irrevocable replacement for the old OGL. Oh my God, have I been saying OLG this entire time?
LOL. OGL. No, you've been right.
Okay, so let me just make sure I'm following my notes
They're
correctly.
just playing like fucking, Pong
So-
with all of this stuff.
Right.
It's back and back, and then the original people, and then the new people, and
So
the backlash.
Give me 1 second. I'd like to call in an
backlash.
expert
Oh,
on
shit.
this. So I'm gonna go ahead and make
Bring,
I'm
bring.
gonna go ahead and unmute that
Bring,
channel.
bring.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Let's see if he answers.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
Hey, man. Hey, do I sound like shit right now?
No, you sound like you're just on a phone. Well, you sound like you're on speaker.
Oh, cool.
Why? Where are
Love
you?
that.
He's going through a tunnel.
I'm sitting in front of my computer desk, but I have my headphones in. I was like, that can't possibly sound worse. Oh, I forgot to ask the cursing policy on this show. We
Curse as much as
Bro,
possible.
do you know who?
It is not
Do you
existent.
know who fucking hosts this show?
Listen, motherfucker, I'm trying to be
Okay,
considerate,
all right. Anyway, everyone, welcome to the show, Mark Piltz. So he plays D&D pretty regularly. As a matter of fact, how long have you been having your latest D&D run go on for?
Oh, shit. I must say since 2019.
No shit.
Okay.
That's a long fucking game. And how often are you guys playing?
We play generally every Wednesday, and Wednesday's new, but Saturday is typically the day when we play our other game, the long-running one.
You play weekly.
Oh yeah,
Oh god damn, good for you.
That's commitment.
hell yeah, dude.
Any,
Also,
any
sorry,
chance
I
to?
lied. We started playing this game in 2018. That's my
Oh, damn.
apologies.
Liar.
2018.
It's a 5-year game.
Mark, are you by
Yeah,
chance a DM?
Oh no.
Would you
No,
ever?
Are you kidding me? Oh god, no, never in
All
my
right,
wildest
go on.
dreams.
Can't hurt
Mark,
for
Mark,
asking.
are you a bard?
Definitely.
You know what-
Definitely.
You know what's so funny is I went the longest time not trying to play a fucking bard. I didn't want to, and then I was like, I guess I'm fucking playing a bard in this game. And
I can't escape
All right,
it, goddammit.
So, Mark, I know that you're up to date on this controversy surrounding the OGL, but are you aware of what Wizards' response to the situation the Wizards of the Coast response to the situation was?
yeah, I've seen a lot of responses from specifically on the D&D Beyond Twitter. Some of them are pretty funny.
Okay.
This is pretty.
Well, all right.
There are certainly responses here.
Okay, yeah. Let me ask you this first. When you first saw this information as a D&D player, explain to us again what you were explaining to me originally about how this would affect like digital boards.
Oh god. Okay, so basically,
Yeah, it was a long
it- it's a lot.
Give us a long and short of it.
The long and the short of it, the short of it is corporations are bad. Laissez-faire line go up capitalism is bad and doesn't produce better product. And corporate greed is bad. That's about it. That's the short of it. The long of it is kind of like this. A current executive, I can't remember this dude's name, and honestly, his name doesn't fucking matter. But there's one executive in particular at Wizards who has a video game, like a background in mobile games and MMOs.
Oh, so this makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, it makes a little bit of sense out of everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He sees like the future of D&D being like a video game. He wants virtual tabletops very much to be the norm. At the table with your friends with like paper character sheets or using like a D&D Beyond character sheet. He doesn't want that at all. This is a funny thing. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, casually assuming that's going to be a hard no. this guy who was an executive at Wizards of the Coast was working on developing an alternative to D&D Beyond, which is a compendium of like a bunch of digital like tools.
Oh, wait a
books.
minute.
They
I
have
do
their own.
remember reading this now.
And this guy was absolutely like sideswiped when Wizards of the Coast was just like, oh, by the way, we bought D&D Beyond. This guy was like, fuck.
Oh, I messed up.
Okay.
This dude hates D&D Beyond so bad. It's kind of like the problem right now with D&D is I feel kind of analogous to like Netflix's The Witcher a little bit, where you have a group of people, the design team for Dungeons and Dragons that work out of Wizards of the Coast love this game. They respect the players. A lot of people have been like coming out and like whistleblowing on a lot of like things that have been going on internally that are really fucked, like this thing I'm going to talk about in just a minute about rights and rights holders and stuff. They love this game, but the people in charge don't care. It's like Henry Cavill loved The Witcher. Loves The Witcher. Present tense.
Okay, I see where.
Loves The Witcher. This dude has a passion for The Witcher source material, and the people who are running the show at The Witcher fucking hate The Witcher. They hate it so much. And their idea for what the thing ought to be is so radically different from what the design team knows the people actually want. And it makes sense that video game people are running this when you consider one of probably the biggest blunders I can think of in video game announcement history was somebody from Blizzard talking about people being unhappy with their games. He says, you know, players think they know what they want, but they don't know what they want.
They don't know what
I mean, there are
That
video
might
game
be
publishers that hire psychologists to literally study the behavior of gamers and how to exploit that and capitalize that on the most monetarily. So
how to treat
anyway,
PTSD from
yeah,
Call of Duty.
yeah. Well, all right. So now that we
right.
now that we all right. So now that we're
Now that I've given that background.
yeah,
Hilarious.
here is
So the right thing kind of goes like this. Wizards of the Coast has this idea, posted this idea in like the 1.1 version of their OGL or their open gaming license that would basically give them the right to retroactively make all third-party content owned by
it's valuable. I
Wizards.
forgot about that. Yeah. No. Keep going, Mark. Yeah, we actually didn't mention that this applies retroactively now too if they were to go through with this, because like I said, I do have an update on this situation.
Just
so
like
keep going.
YouTube.
Like the original language in this like OGL 1.1 was basically something to the effect of retroactively content developed using our SRD or our system reference document, which is basically the fucking rules to the game. Things that are built off of that will be owned by Wizards of the Coast retroactively. And this is such a ludicrously bad idea.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, on the one hand, they'll be taking, like, people have developed things to make D&D feel a little more inclusive, perhaps. Like, combat wheelchairs is this really fucking cool thing that somebody developed. And it's honestly, truly one of the, like, a really cool thing. Like, it sounds, I guess, kind of dumb, a little bit like combat wheelchair. What the fuck is that? But then you actually, like, read about it, look at it, and it's like, A, wow, that's fucking rad, and a lot of thought of it has been put into this. And B, well, you know, there are people who use wheelchairs play D&D, and if this helps them feel a little more like, you know, welcome at a table, net positive thing.
I gotta ask a question. Don't you think the guy in the wheelchair who's doing the creative character at D&D would prefer his guy to, I don't know, walk? Like,
what a great question. Maybe, but I mean, also, maybe this person wants to like do like a role play that's more grounded in something they know. A big part of the reason that I started playing a bard, in spite of the fact that I fucking hated being, I tried so hard not to do this, but I was like, I mean, honestly, music is about the only thing. Like, I know music way fucking more than I know anything about Dungeons and Dragons rules at the time. So I was like, yeah. Maybe I can get away with like more dumb shit if I'm like, oh well, you know, like when you do like a C Phrygian arpeggio, but rule of cool.
All right, well, you know what they say.
This guy knows music.
It's hard being a bard.
This guy fucks.
Anyway.
It's hard to be the bard.
Okay,
but,
so
like there's things like that then Wizards of the Coast could claim ownership over. But the thing is, there's a lot of third-party content available using the D&D 5.0 system reference document. People have made whole Super Mario Brothers third-party like.
Oh, that's another great point. Actually, he's bringing up.
They
right
can
now.
claim his music as his bar.
Yeah, and even then,
shit.
like Mark actually brings up a great point here. Let's see how long Nintendo or Disney allow
classic.
Hasbro to profit off of third-party content using Mario or Mickey.
It's my favorite thing.
There's
Just like-
no way that doesn't end in multiple lawsuits. Like, dude, that's like I won't say where it is, but there's a place that the three of us went to on a certain date last year, where we played lots of video games, and we walked in
okay.
there and we were like, "Damn, this place is a Nintendo lawyer's wet dream."
Dude, that's a whole
Rom
nother
after
level.
Rom
Yeah,
after
that's a
Rom.
whole nother level of like profiting from piracy, like right in front of you, and like this is just that on the other foot. You know what I mean? Like,
I support Nintendo privacy because you can't play some of those games anywhere.
yeah, well, we actually have a segment for that later. But anyway, all right. So I just want to talk about the Wizards of the Coast, the backlash. Now, I'm not actually going to read the full statement because that is fucking. You can go look that up for yourself. What I do have here is some highlights from this GameSpot article. So, Wizards of the Coast finally responded to the controversy in mid-January. However, its statement covered all the company's basements. It failed to put out the fire, rather the opposite. In a post made on D&D Beyond, Wizards admitted that the draft of OGL was indeed legitimate and that the new draft was motivated by desire to support content creators and designer rather than, quote, major corporations, an apparent reference to Paizo. So, that's their competitor. So then the statement also pointed to the desire to remove D&D content from, quote, hateful and discriminatory products, unquote, as well as shutting down those attempting to make D&D blockchain games and NFTs. And while both of these moves are widely supported by existing tabletop community, like everyone was like, okay, reasonable, like they were widely seen as a smokescreen for Wizards' profit-seeking behavior. Now, listen, I kind of take issue with that because asking the company not to seek profits at a certain point is kind of weird. It's just being super predatory about it that I would not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is just not cool and destroying the secondary and third economy you have created by having such a wide and active community supported by, literally the free market you allow to exist,
Which drive all of your shit, too.
exactly, which is the reason why this brand has gotten so big. I mean, even though this was the first tabletop RPG, was released in 1974, it has reclaimed dominance and it grows existentially every year, and like year over year growth. Like it's the most amount of people that played ever was this year, and then this
Thanks,
year,
Stranger Things.
this like yeah. So
Dude, they're gonna start taking fucking royalties from Stranger Things.
so either way, that was
Honestly,
their now.
yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Now that was their response.
Said, how many times did you say Demogorgon this season?
So
That's a corner each time, motherfucker.
pay up,
Oh,
bitches.
God,
So either way, though,
Oh,
that was the Wizards of the Coast went further to say that the new OGL will not contain any controversial provisions of the draft, including the royalty structure, the back license agreement, or the deauthorization of the previous OGL version. Though this is good news for the RPG community, Wizards went further to say that it and the community, quote, won because it always planned to, quote, solicit the input from the community before any update to the OGL, end quote. It went further to state that the leaked drafts were an intended part of the review process. A bizarre claim was that exactly. It's a bizarre claim as more of a face-saving measure on the company's part, and Mark's reaction is exactly how the community reacted. So, I mean, listen, on a claim like that, we'll never know because the document got leaked. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, well, we didn't really mean to do it, but don't say that it's real and you put it in writing and then you were like, we weren't going to do that. This got out.
You just spitballing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and listen, if it's one of those things where like this was just a document someone typed up to send to somebody, it'd be like, let's go for a round of reviews. What do we think? And this never got close. it did get close, and the only reason it didn't get out was because it got out beforehand, and they saw what it was going to do to the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody like one of the Henry Cavills at the company was like, the people need to know.
Yeah.
Here's kind of like the thing about
Henry Cavill's upset about this too. He's definitely upset.
He fucking should be. Damn. Henry Cavill's probably pissed. That dude fucking loves D&D. Joe, I can't think his last name. He's married to Sofia Vergara. That dude as well, probably pissed.
Oh, Joe Manganiello?
Manganiello, that's his name.
Deathstroke.
Okay, I forgot his last name. What a handsome man.
The Rock?
A big like...
Didn't him and Vince Vaughn play?
No, dude. The Rock did whatever.
That's why they're not friends anymore.
That's why they're not friends.
The Rock did whatever his PR team told him to say. All right,
Yeah.
but go ahead, Mark.
Like the thing with all of this. Pat, you had mentioned the thing like asking a corporation not to make money is silly, and yeah, certainly in like an American capitalist system, the line has to go up. The line must infinitely go up, even though infinite growth is, unsustainable. But really, this whole problem kind of originated maybe like last year or the year before. Somebody, for the like first time ever in like an investor meeting at Hasbro, asked about Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons. Asked about Wizards of the Coast specifically, because Hasbro, fucking, toy company. They make My Little Pony toys, and they make Transformers and shit. And it came up in that meeting that Wizards of the Coast, through Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, accounts for, I can't remember what the number was.
I know what it is.
Between 50 and like 80% of Hasbro's total.
What?
Yeah, it's like I think it's like $2.5 billion per year.
Jeez.
Yeah, and like
And so
$1 billion
this
of that is D&D alone.
That's
So
incredible.
this particular investor was saying, now hold on a second. Why the fuck don't we split these companies up? Why don't we keep Hasbro as Hasbro? We make Wizards of the Coast its own thing because it's super profitable. And this way, stockholders will have this capacity to make like a shitload more money. But the people in charge at Hasbro, there's like, this is an ego thing at here where it's like, no, that's a part of us. We want to keep that. We don't want that to be its own thing and succeed on its own. So that's where a lot of these decisions are coming from, is Hasbro really desperately wanting to please the shareholders who tried to do a hostile takeover to make this happen, to make Wizards be its own fucking thing. That did not happen, but that's where a lot of this is coming from. Do you guys play Dungeons and Dragons at all?
Yeah, I played for a little while. Not too long, but like maybe like a year and change or something like that.
I play Nickelback D&D. So
You do.
you're only allowed to be 4 people. Everyone gets to be one Nickelback,
It's pretty limited.
and then you rise to success and look really bad in your 40s by the end of the game. It's a good time.
To my D&D players, have you guys ever personally bought a D&D book?
No, but there was one, and there was like a set one time too. I saw in the city, like a box you could buy that gives you like instructions and shit and little pieces and.
I have a friend who has like all the subscriptions to D&D Beyond. So I basically get most of my resources through being a member of his party on D&D Beyond.
And that's kind of the big problem that Blizzard has. You can have a game with up to like 7 people. The Critical Role people, they run a campaign with 8 players, sometimes 9 players. One person has the books. One person gives their money to Wizards of the Coast to access that book. I have never given a red cent. That's not true. I bought one book. I have barely given a red cent to the D&D Beyond website because I have a friend who has bought every single one of them. And I am linked in a campaign he was going to run. It never happened, but I'm still linked to that campaign. So I still have access to all of the books. And so Wizards kind of like looks at that and goes, we're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to get a slice of that pie.
This is shit you would never know from the article.
Millions of dollars. Fucking who else? Whom else is like there are $1 million.
Whom else?
Trying to develop. Bart. There are millions of dollars on the table on Kickstarter for people developing content to be used in conjunction with D&D's 5th edition.
Wow.
And Wizards sees that and they go, we could get a cut of that. We can get a slice of that pie. But the problem is they absolutely can't. That's not for them. And if they try, if they try to get a slice of that pie, or they try to make it so that more people have to buy their stupid fucking books, what's going to end up happening, we've seen what happens when Wizards gets too greedy, or when whoever owns Dungeons & Dragons at the time gets too greedy and tries to overextend their reach. What happens? Fucking Paizo pops up, and they make Pathfinder. Alternate systems come up, and not a fucking soul plays Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition, specifically because Wizards decided to fuck around and find out.
Well, in that case, I'm glad that they resolved it, and then it seems that it's not going to go that way, but it looked pretty hairy for a while, and I'm glad that we can get this insight from somebody who actually plays the game. So we're running short on time here. So we're going to bounce you. We're going to cut the comedian.
Let me do one quick last thing.
Okay.
And this is
Let me say something.
I suspect that like the kind of like leaked draft of OGL 1.1, I fully expect it would have just gone ahead.
Right.
If, like no one had said anything if it had never come out. Now Wizards is trying to backtrack. They released like a thread about like misinformation. Like they said they're not trying to develop AI like Dungeon Masters. They're not trying to put a $30 subscription fee on D&D Beyond. They're not trying to do all kinds of things. And I'm skeptical. Like they explained, no one at Wizards is working on AI DMs, and then said we love our human DMs too much, et cetera, and had a lot to say about that. All they said about the $30 subscription fee is that's not true.
No, not happening.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Look over there.
Corporation's gonna corporation. So, all right, Mark. Thanks for the insight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for giving us the insight. That actually was shit that I would have never found out in like the 2 hours of research I did. So, all right, Mark. Thanks so much, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, have a good show, guys. You're probably doing great.
Thanks,
we were. All right, see you, buddy. Bye.
Catch you later.
Okay. That actually was useful information at the end there, especially like all those avenues that they can make money that's not even a part of the conversation that really, I guess, only the community would know about.
Yeah. And I mean, like, to what he was saying, like, that's not their money to be had. The whole point of the game is for creatives to create. It's all about your imagination, where you can't really compare it to the Nintendo thing, because it's like you're supposed to go and buy their product and use it. But D&D is about your imagination.
So
you can't own somebody's imagination.
Can't own imaginations,
man.
Not according to Adam Conover, you can't. All right, anyway. So
yeah, I agree.
What just happened?
That was Adam Conover.
On here, you're fine.
Okay. All right. So
it was Adam Conover.
Speaking of corpses, we watched The Last of Us last week. And
as everyone else did.
We have the same things to say as everybody else does. It's hard for us to cover this show because we literally record this. I mean, the next episode starts in a half hour. So it's kind of hard for us to keep up, and like doing an extra show outside of it to cover the series is not worth it. So we'll just cover it when it's all done and out and everyone's had it. But real quick, just spoilers. Everyone here liked it. We all thought it was immaculate, right?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a better first episode of TV.
The one thing I will say, I don't know if I'd call it immaculate, because while I did enjoy the opening sequence, I enjoyed the doctor in the beginning.
Yeah.
But all the what's Joel's daughter's name? Sarah. I don't feel like we needed all that.
You're out of your mind.
Well,
that's literally the start of his character arc.
But the game did it
when he meets Ellie is the start of his character arc.
No.
Yes.
No,
I
it
will
isn't.
Die on this hill.
Let me just get this out.
No.
Let me just get this out.
Let me just say something.
The video game started as Joel gets home and Sarah's asleep on the couch. We didn't need
drugs.
We didn't need Sarah's whole day and her interacting with the neighbors and the dog. Like,
no, I feel like you missed this. I feel like you did need that.
No, I mean we saw it in the game without it, and it was like so much tighter.
Well,
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying we didn't need that.
The thing you have to understand, like I guess, like is a point that I really liked with the show. How they did it is in the game you're playing it.
Yeah.
So like you can go quick.
Medium.
It's a different medium. That's how you're kind of approaching things. In an actual like TV or longer format type of things, you can go into shit with it, like introducing the neighbor and then seeing them later.
What do we talk about, guys? We have to let things breathe. Remember, we wanted this. If this was a Disney Plus show, we'd be fucked right now. But
their whole thing is like you start with the doctor and you start with all of that, and us have playing the game know the tension through everything.
Oh, yeah.
So just even if it's like a weird, you know,
Masterful.
not anything kind of much going on, you're just like seeing the day. You're just waiting for that shoe to drop.
masterful cinematography too in some scenes. Also, it was flour, contaminated flour, because she
Oh, yeah,
doesn't
I
have
saw
the
that.
cookies.
Oh, right,
He's
right.
on Atkins, which is such a 2003 thing.
Do we know that that's a fact, or is that just a theory?
I mean,
I
like that's
saw
the
IGN did
that's
a
the
thing.
going theory right now. But I mean,
he's on
like
the
it's
Atkins
it's
stuff?
absolutely written
Well,
that
I
way.
mean, like the whole
That-
flour
yeah,
thing.
yeah, contaminated flour. I
Do we
forget
do we
what
think
how,
that's an actual
I
thing?
forget
that
how the
was
game
intended?
how it went in the game. I forget how the spread was.
I don't
They
remember.
don't think they
Oh,
ever
the
addressed
spores.
it.
No, it was. It's the spores. If you breathe in the spores from a dead husk, that's how you get infected. They took out the spores for the show though.
There's no spores.
No, they took it out for two reasons. One, if they tried to add the sections with the spores, it would just be like dark and flashlights. And two,
They want to pay
you're
Pedro
paying-
Pascal back in a
paying
mask.
Pedro Pascal $1 million per episode.
We've already
They
done
want
this
his
before.
case.
He wears
They
a
want
mask in
his face.
Mandalorian.
That's who he is.
Yeah,
We
but
don't get to see his
that's
face.
before he had a name. Disney locked him down before he had a name. HBO, he definitely was like, I'm not wearing a fucking helmet.
Yeah, honestly.
to be honest, if there's really no spores throughout the series, that's disappointing to me.
All right.
There might be.
Well,
You know, we'll see.
Either way, let's talk about this. So, when The Last of Us came out, this is the conversation I want to have. When The Last of Us came out, there was all of the video game outlets were just presenting this as a normal review, like Last of Us series premiere review, right? And they, like everyone else, you know, said it was amazing. It's great because it genuinely is great. This is the only show I've ever seen the first episode on Rotten Tomatoes where the critics are 99% or 98, and they're either way, they're both 99.
Right.
Like they are complete. Like everybody's on the same page, right?
If you look at the Velma reviews,
I was about to say, like Velma,
everybody's
we're all
on the
happy.
same page.
I can't. Who the fuck? Did you guys know that Shaggy's real name is Norville? That's
Yeah,
his
I did.
I didn't know that. Norville.
That's his Christian name.
Yeah, it's his Christian name. So anyway, there was this idea
From
that-
the Book of Norville.
So anyway, Book of Norville. So the thing that I noticed of all the media outside of games journalism that was talking about this, and I literally brought receipts for you here today, was that The Last of Us finally breaks the video game adaptation curse. And this is not like, here's another one. Another one.
Another one.
This sad fuck on YouTube. Last of
come
Us
on.
breaks this game.
Wait, why has he got a white penis behind him?
That's just the edge of his chair.
No, it's not.
So, can The Last of Us series finally break the video game adaptation curse? How The Last of Us breaks the curse of shit video game adaptations. HBO breaks Hollywood's video game curse. So there is still this running narrative. The only way that I think the major trades can spin this is that the way that we watermark our video game adaptations is does it, quote, break the curse?
So you're saying it's like a marketing
Now,
thing.
what is the curse, right? Now, the curse would be that, as defined by a lot of these, if you go through these articles, the main two things that they love to point out are the same things we judge every other film by.
Is
Box
Pedro
off-
Pascal in
it's just
it?
Pedro, and
Can we
can you
see
see
his
his face? Is box office and is and audience and critic reception, right? Like audience / critic reception. Okay. Now, I remember I had said recently, just as like maybe a few weeks ago on the show. No, because we weren't here. Sometime last year. I don't know. All the days blend together at some point. Anyway, I had said at least that I think that the next Hollywood like adaptation, the next wave that we're riding is the video game adaptation.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about
Remember
that,
we were
yeah.
talking about that, and we were talking about, and you guys were like, well, no, well, what is it? Is it this? I was like, well, what does it look like? Is it? And I said, it's like the superhero genre. I said, this would, Last of Us episode 1 was our Iron Man for the MCU. And you asked me, how could I quantify that? And I think I got as close as I'm going to get.
Did you find articles about Iron Man?
No, I didn't.
It's the comic book curse.
No.
The comic.
Did Hollywood
So-
break the comic book curse?
So, what I did was, I went and I found these like lists of like the highest grossing films based on movies like worldwide gross and everything, right? Just how much money they make and like versus like how they were critically recepted. But you need only look at the years that these movies came out and how well they were recepted, and you can see
received, please.
over the fucking
Please help me.
over the fucking timeline, right? Like over, like if you started here, there's a
At the beginning,
it
we're
starts
talking
here.
Mario
and-
Brothers with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
It starts here and it goes really. It's a flat line for quite a long time. But yeah, and
once you
just
start to-
recently, yeah, and we get to like Doom and we flatline a bit for again, and then like we get some Detective Pikachu and we shoot up and then we flatline again because they put out another shitty Doom movie. But anyway, if you look at this list, as the years go on, the reviews do get better. And, I mean, Sonic and Sonic 2, unfortunately, had the pandemic to contend with, so I think that movie got undercut. Like, I always thought that movie would easily make, like, $650 million, like, worldwide.
Shit.
Maybe, like, 400 something. But either way, like, even as new as 2021 is the best, highest video game adaptation.
What
I'm
is
gonna
that?
where is that's the Sam Richardson one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So,
I love Josh
then,
Rubin.
I mean, then you look at like the worldwide takes, these box office. These movies are not. These movies are. They're not like necessarily cheap to make, but they're also not summer blockbuster expensive. You know what I mean? These movies are not $250 million, 200. I think some of the most expensive ones on here might be like 120. 130.
No.
And like that's the thing is like look at this, like look at these are not insignificant grosses up against something that has like an $80 to $120 million budget.
I just want to for a second take apart the financial part of it, because to me the video game curse, to me that means less about does it do well in the box office and more is it do the fans of the franchise get a movie that honors or at least like pays tribute to the spirit of the game.
Yeah, but
rather
we have
than
to
just
pay
being
in
a cash grab.
But we have to pay into the idea of that if we look at things and we go, this made no money, so obviously people don't like it. Then if it, by that same logic, if something made money, we have to assume that the audience did like it.
I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you would. That is literally the one way of logic. If you think of it that way, you have to look at it the other way.
There's plenty of bad movies that made money.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the critics in this sense right now. I'm talking about strictly the audience. The critics are not making this movie $480 million.
Who do you know that likes Warcraft? The movie, not the game.
Well, necessarily in this case, the Chinese.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Rampage. Who do you know that saw and liked Rampage?
Tell you what, I saw Rampage and I liked Rampage. Not a good movie. Not at all a good movie.
Okay. So Sonic, well received. That's fine.
Uncharted.
A lot of the fan base didn't like the movie.
Still made more than the entire theatrical run of Black Adam.
You're not listening to me. Take the money out of it.
No, I'm not taking the money out of it because if you assume that if it made no money that people don't like it, then you have to assume that when it makes money, people do like it.
Why do I have to? Why is that a like natural law of how good a movie is?
Because why would you think about it any other way? That's
because
like cheating.
People are stupid and they see, I know that title. I go see movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean like
they thought like I like The Rock. I go see Black Adam, and it didn't even break 400 million. Like,
yeah, well, that's true.
That's what I'm saying for The Rock. Like,
so what I'm saying is, I'm asking for you to do a thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Take the money out of it, just for the sake of argument. Don't fight me on this one.
Okay.
And look at the titles. And other than the ones that are clearly geared towards children, like take out the Detective Pikachu, take out Sonic, take out Angry Birds. Think about the ones that are like adult, grittier movies, and find me one that's good on here that does well. I don't see one.
I mean, I feel like you're kind of cherry picking now because the argument is video game adaptations.
Right. That's fair. But I think
and that's my point, though. My point is that you're seeing the pattern, though.
I totally get where you're
Like,
coming
and
from.
remember how I
pattern.
said that
But I
the
also
golden
think
age of superhero movies started with Blade, and then you had like a miss, like with like X-Men 3 or like
Flip-flop
Fantastic, and then you got Spider-Man 2, and then that's when but we finally just hit Iron Man for video game adaptations, because look at this right here. Steven Spielberg himself in 2015 said that the superhero movie will go the way of the Western. And he goes on to explain exactly why, like how we needed the Western, what it meant for America, like all this shit, right? And exactly why audiences were no longer invested in it. And you compile that on top of all of the news that video games will be Hollywood's next great IP war. And look at this. Look at all of the greenlit titles.
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you, dude. And look, TV shows too. Video games are like we're on the cusp.
There's two things that I want to point out. Number one, I don't know if you can really attribute it so much to a pattern as we just now live in an age where there's a ton of really great video games with narratives that translate well to film, where 10, 15 years ago, that wasn't really as much. Hold on.
I think I have an answer for you,
I
though,
want
on
an
that.
answer.
Yeah,
So,
I think
about
it would be
that.
streaming TV, you know?
What's that?
Streaming television.
Okay.
BioShock's a TV show. Last of Us is TV.
But
Amazon's
lately-
doing the
Last
Rock.
of Us?
I
What
mean,
I'm-
the
what
Rock
I'm saying
doing
is,
God of War. Like,
I don't think there was ever a time before now for this to be like, you know, so it's like, of course,
I agree with that too.
Of course
Yeah.
we're getting
I
that
mean,
now because
yeah.
there's this rich backlog of great cinematic video games. And then the other point that I wanted to bring up is superhero movies, they're all pretty much set in the same mold, right? I mean, it's like your origin story and here's the hero fighting a villain every single time, almost every time. Video games, like you can't really, it's not like superhero movies being analogous to the Western. That makes sense because a Western is got the same tropes and the same beats and the same character archetypes.
the pomp and circumstance is all there.
It's
Yeah.
the same way with superheroes. Video games, it's not one thing. Video games is everything in every genre. So it's like, it's just, to me, you can't really draw a line and saying this is going to be the same as that because there's so many different types of stories that you can tell within the video game.
That's why I
category.
think specifically like streaming television, and I would agree with you that we couldn't have it in any other time but now because of, and even then, if you look closely, you look at video game adaptations on streaming television, there isn't a lot. However, there's two significant ones, and it literally gives you an analogy of Fantastic Four to Spider-Man 2. You literally have the Halo TV show. They pumped millions of dollars into it. Like, it is the best looking thing you could see on streaming television. Everyone hates it. Same thing with Fantastic Four. It's like most expensive movie that year. Fox marketed the
you
shit
talking
out of
about
it.
the-
It sucks.
the Chris
I'm talk-
Evans one
we're-
or the
yeah, talking
thing
about
for it?
Chris
Okay.
Evans on. And then Spider-Man 2 comes out the next year, and it's literally one of the best action movies made at the time.
To this day.
And still one of the best comic
Holds
movies,
up.
I think. Yeah. And I think that's what you're seeing. Like, we're seeing that pattern again.
So what's the Spider-Man of the current streaming TV video game genre?
You're right. This is very specific.
A lot of modifiers.
Westworld. That's a game, right?
Yeah, you know, right? Westworld was.
Yeah, Westworld, the
No.
highly anticipated. But anyway, I'm not crazy though, right? You
No,
guys,
I think-
you see the I got it all right here, folks. All right, like
It's a psyop.
They gotta. It's a
fucking
psyop.
psyop.
Mike, what are you going to say?
I just think, I think streaming television's a good point with it. I think the fact that we now have technology that you can actually make it look good and it's not like a PS1 game, like it looks that way. And I think just like the proliferation of video games, like like in youth with cell phones. and, like,
Post-COVID?
Yeah.
post like everything, like the amount of people that play like PUBG or Fortnite on their phones is, you know,
You can play those on mobile?
Yeah,
Play 'em on
PUBG
mobile.
Mobile's free,
yeah.
and you can play against like PC players.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But all of that, like, I think just made video games so much more proliferated into the actual
Yeah.
culture, like almost in social media.
I mean, even streaming services
Yeah.
are doing it now. You can actually sign on to Netflix and you can hit the video game
And they'll
call to
send
action,
you-
and they'll send you off their platform to the Google Play Store. It's wild.
What a
It's so
time to
much
be
fun.
alive.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. So speaking of video games, I put something together for us boys. You know what it is. Ladies
Mike,
and gentlemen,
play the song.
welcome to this week's Guess the Game, everybody. It's a episode of Guess the Game this week. And this week's Guess the Game segment is entitled Potter or Notter, everybody.
Okay, give us a round of applause.
So, rules to this game here apply as such. I will ask the two gentlemen in this room if this is a Harry Potter game or another famous or infamous fantasy title that is out there based off of the tone deaf review. Some of these are, easier than others because some of them I was like, they'll never get this unless I find something easy. Some of them I had to change because some of these games go so way back that I had to it was hard finding reviews. And then one of them I had to take or one of them I only got one review, but it's so on the money that I hope you guys find as much humor in it as I did. So you ready to get started?
I'm sorry. So this is any Harry Potter game
Yeah.
versus any fantasy game
Versus the most famous ones, yeah.
So we just
Okay,
say
so you're not picking ones
There's
that
only
I would
10
never
options.
have heard of.
There's only 10 options. 5 of them are Potters and 5 of them are Notters.
so you say Potter or Notter.
So yeah, so all you guys have to do
Oh, we don't have
is
to
guess
guess
if
the
it's
game.
Potter or Notter.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
So, all right, ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, first up. Huge, empty open world that is too lazy to explore. I'm tired of the sluggish gameplay from this series. The intro vid was replaced with sketches. No graphic, but frequent freezies. I'll put that hat away for later.
Freezies?
I was gonna say the whole time I was gonna say Nodder until you say I put that hat away and I'm like sorting hat, maybe the sorting hat.
I thought sorting hat, but I think knowing Pat, it's a red herring. I'm gonna go with Notter.
All right, let's stick with Nodder.
You are correct, ladies and gentlemen. That is Elden Ring. That's first
Oh
up.
wow! Oh, the hat. Okay.
Wait, what?
Well,
I don't know what.
You know that famous
you know me, the big Elden Ring guy.
that big hat from Elden Ring. You don't remember that?
Oh, like the big no.
big hat.
The fucking Ronnie hat. Yeah, the big
It was so genuine.
Oh my god.
Oh, you know that? You know that? Yeah, the hat. Yeah. All right. So, next game. Absolutely appalling game. The pinnacle of style over substance, and the most depressing part is how people completely eat it up. Just slap incredible graphics on an interactive movie, and everyone will eat it up. And 2 fingers to gameplay, and 2 fingers to gameplay, and the elements which actually make something a game instead of a movie.
That's Potter, unless it's a red herring, but I think it's a Potter.
I have no idea. It's good graphics. I don't think there's been a good graphic looking Harry Potter in ever.
This doesn't mean anything either way, but I'm just gonna say I thought that too, and you'd be surprised.
Which one would you say looks good?
I ain't doing that.
I ain't going there. I'm gonna say I don't know. What do you think? I'm gonna defer.
I'm gonna say I don't know.
I'm gonna defer to Nick.
I'm going Potter.
We'll go Potter.
All right, hold on.
Oh, wait. No. See, we can't do this.
Just one thing I want to. All right, give me this one.
Okay.
Gimme.
This is your one. You get a mulligan.
Are there any other notable fantasy games you could think of that are based off of a movie?
All the Lord of the Rings ones.
Okay, well then I think it's a red herring. Are there any Lord of the Rings games that look good?
I don't think
Absolutely.
I
The
think
Shadow
you're,
of Mordor.
but I don't. But I just want to let you know you're going down the wrong path.
All right, then Potter.
Potter. We're going Potter. We're sticking.
No, but
You fuck. You cheated. You've ruined me. You've ruined me.
no. What I was saying. Okay, first of all, it's The Witcher Wild Hunt, which doesn't have a movie, but what they're claiming is that it's one of these movie games where that's what they're saying.
Oh,
it's not
with,
a
like,
game of
cutscenes and stuff?
yeah. Like,
Gotcha.
all right. So
We
next
still
one.
would have had it if
If you do
Pat didn't fuck us.
if you do anything other than not take this game seriously, you'll get bored quite easily. But as far as making it a fun with the incredibly cheesy graphics, which they really aren't, in parentheses, and corny dialogue, you'll be entertained. Not thrilled, but entertained.
It's definitely a Potter.
That's Potter. Do you ever
You ever see?
you ever see the YouTuber Call Me Kevin? He plays through some of them, and I watch some of the videos. There's one game where I guess it's like during the Quidditch World Cup. They're running after the fucking the people are being tortured, and Harry and the crew are running through the forest. One of the things you have to do in the game is collect birdie bots, every flavor beans. And you're running through the forest away from basically like wizard Nazis. And when you collect the beans, Ron just goes, beans, beans. So corny dialogue, definitely Potter.
It's a Potter. It's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
All right.
All right. So next up, worst game ever. 15 FPS, 720p garbage, the boring combat system, no dungeons, a stamina meter, and durability on weapons. Ugh.
I know what
Graphics
this is.
are like 10 years out of date. Half of the characters have no voice acting. A developer still stuck in 2001, I guess.
I guess I'm going to say Nodder because the dungeons comment.
Is this Breath of the Wild?
It is. It's a
Nice.
Okay, so these are literally the only reviews I could find on this entry. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough how ass this is. I hope they all get struck by lightning. Suspension of disbelief aside, I hated this. I was not prepared for how fake, unrealistic, and artificial each and every aspect of this story felt. If the roles were reversed, this would be a horror game.
This feels like a Nodder, but I feel like we've had a lot of Nodders.
I think it's. I'm saying Potter. I think it's some random ass like someone's real mad about this game.
I'm going to go with Mike.
Sorry guys. Yeah, that was actually Sleepless in Seattle with starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
Can we hear that one again? Now that I want to hear it in context.
Yo, there is so many people who thought they were clever and were like, they should have called this Sleeping in Seattle because it's so boring. I don't know what this movie's about, but everybody says this movie would never get made today because Tom Hanks just stalks Meg Ryan for 45 minutes and then she like leaves her boyfriend for him. Like that's pretty much what the movie
trope.
I love that.
is. I love a good love story, a rom-com.
You know, we should have realized when you like stumbled the horror game movie thing that it was like, oh, that should have been a little little indicator.
All right, so
if the roles were reversed. Oh, yeah.
Gotta pay attention with him. Tricky boy.
all right, anyway.
Well, you said Potter.
No, him. I'm saying he's tricky.
I know, and you fell right into his fucking
You're
trap.
damn right I did. I'm saying we gotta be
I
careful.
said Nodder. As far as I'm concerned, I'm batting 1,000 here.
Maybe you should stand up for yourself more.
Damn,
Maybe
Mike.
I shouldn't have to fight all your battles. You know what I'm saying? So,
I can mute you, Nick.
so all right. First person shooter. This is a phrase you will think literally all the time. This game can replace wands for assault guns and it should be exactly the same. Sadly, with no need of storytelling and playtime, there is a lot of filler and repetitive battles, plus some minor bugs in my experience.
That's Potter.
That's a nodder.
It's Potter, damn it.
I'm saying nodder because he said wands, and I think it's a red herring.
It's a Potter.
God fucking damn it.
I'm batting
It's a Potter.
1,000, Mike.
That
doing
would be
great, Nikki.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, which is apparently, according to Metacritic, the worst rated Harry Potter video
Really?
game. Yeah, it has a
First-person
37%. No, it's a third-person shooter. This person's just a moron. I looked
not
it
my
up.
fault,
It's
then.
not. That is not a first-person shooter. It's
Not my fault. Not
then.
my fault.
All right, so then we have now with 1,000,000% more paid DLC. First horse armor and now this. Greedy company is greedy. I wouldn't buy another version of this game from them if they paid me to take it.
Nodder.
It's a nodder.
It's a nodder because it's the Elder Scrolls
Yes,
5.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Skyrim, baby.
All right. A big request to the developers, if they still remain, to make a Russian
haven't killed them
translation
yet.
of this game. text and voiceover,
This
please.
sounds like a curse.
I really like the game, but it's very uncomfortable to play without Russian translation. I hate the American voices.
American
Wait.
voices?
Have you seen? There's this guy that's constantly like reviewing. This is what this reminds me of. He's constantly like adding and like putting in bug notes for like Overwatch and like Fortnite.
Yeah,
He's like,
I do know
Why
about this guy.
can't why are they wearing shoes? Like, you know, this kind of outfit, this character shouldn't be wearing shoes. We should be able to see their feet. This is unrealistic. And they just keep going off on like multiple things with this because they just want to see some animated feet. This is some weird Russian thing. Like,
I thought you were saying like they were like the guy who was watching the fucking like the golf open and he was like, you're using fake bird sounds, like those birds aren't native to this region. They just want to see feet.
no, he's like they're in like a beach
Those are
costume.
not real birds.
He's in a beach costume, or like they're in a beach costume. Why are they wearing shoes? This is wrong.
Okay, so Potter or Notter?
I forgot what we.
Yeah, I forgot what we were saying.
A big request to the developers, if they still remain.
I'm gonna say Nodder. He just said he wants it in Russian, and he said American voices. So I'm gonna say they would have English accents. I mean, so
I think he's ignorant. It's Potter.
I'm sticking with my answer.
All right, it's a Potter.
Yeah, let's
It's
go.
Harry Potter and Quidditch World Cup.
I had that game. It was horrible.
Yes, it is.
It's
But
so
maybe if you had it with Russian translation,
the golden. I can't do a Russian accent.
the Gordon,
I was gonna say the golden snitch, but
the
like,
Gordon.
All I can think of is screaming, "Ah, motherland!" All right. Last one,
They
boys.
won,
You ready? Here we go. Oh no, wait. I got two more. Oh, that's right. I took a screenshot of this one because I absolutely could not believe that these were the only two reviews I could get. And obviously it's a Harry Potter game, but here's what we got. It sucks. Harry Potter is evil and nobody should read the book, watch the movie, or play the game. J.K. Rowling needs to go to church. So does anybody who likes this. Boy, did that age poorly.
0 out of 5 users found this helpful.
And then here we go. Here, ready for the opposite end of the spectrum. This game isn't that good, but I still think it's okay. I'm just a kid, and I think it's very, very easy to complete. It took me exactly 6 hours and 23 minutes to finish it. That's short, but still, the graphics are awesome, and the music is cool too. I would recommend this game to kids between the ages of 4 and 12.
This kid's got a model train
I
set in
want
his
you
basement.
guys to know that this is the most obvious form of entrapment I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay? This is literally the episode of South Park where Cart was trying to find new friends. Oh, old men seeking young boys. I'm a young boy. Damn it, why do all my friends keep getting arrested by the FBI? Well, it's here. It's on a it's on a Metacritic forum.
J.K.
So-
Rowling needs to go to church.
Potter or Notter?
It's a Potter.
Potter.
Which
There you
game
go.
was it?
It's the Sorcerer's Stone.
I was sleepless in Seattle.
That was the actual
All right.
movie Harry Potter.
Last one, ready?
Oh, there's another.
One more.
There's 10. So,
Sorry, I wasn't keeping count.
I was keeping count.
I mean, apparently you're batting 1,000. So,
Not
Well,
anymore,
no,
he
I
ain't.
got that
you
one
figured you
wrong.
want to hold those doubloons close.
Now I'm betting 900.
Okay. So, all the positive reviews for this game make me lose hope in humidity.
Humidity.
This was a very bad game. By no means was God. The story was awful, and the God and evil aspect was very poorly implemented. The reason it sold as massively as it did was due to the insanely overhyped advertisement campaigns by the studios. The game did not in any way live up to the single one of its boasted features. Potter and Otter.
I lost count. Also, the sleepless in Seattle thing kind of throws off the math.
That's fair.
What do you mean? No, it doesn't. It's a Notter.
Oh, okay. it
Oh,
doesn't-
okay. Right.
I feel like we've done 5 Nodders. So, but that doesn't. This review doesn't feel like a Potter.
What's the God thing? There's a. I have no
Well,
idea.
it said good and evil, but it was misspelled to God and evil.
Oh, okay. It's a Potter then. Nicholas.
I'm just gonna go Nodder.
I'm very disappointed in you, Mike. It is a Notter because it's Fable. It's a review
it's
for
that
Fable.
straight fucking forward with the good and evil.
Yeah, yep. I was like, come on, man. Like, if anyone was gonna get that in here, I thought it'd be you.
It's fine. It's me. I said Fable
It's me.
too.
So-
when we were like talking about this segment, I was like, yeah, grab things from Lord of the
So
Rings,
I
from
think
Fable,
you're
from whatever.
7, he's 9,
Yeah, I did not do well.
so he wins.
all right, Nick.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
You're
Thank you.
you're what's it called?
Champion.
Genius is showing.
Oh, I'm
Your prize is to just put that candle out with just your palm, just right over it.
no thanks.
But it's your prize, Nick.
I think I'll pass.
Well, if you don't do it, you got to pay the taxes on it. So what's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be, Nick?
It's the game show tax loophole, everyone. All right. So that being said, nope. Clip of the week.
Clip of the week.
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
Before we actually go into clip of the week in earnest, I did want to bring up, I figured out what the only Harry Potter game that I've ever played.
Okay.
It was Lego Creator Harry Potter. And it was basically you build the world of like it was just the first movie,
Yeah.
but you build it out of Legos. And I remember the UI just being so incredibly difficult. I don't know if it was really that difficult or if I was just really young, but I couldn't get past the point of making the Hogwarts Express to get to Hogwarts.
Oh boy, you did not get far.
That was I was like, it's impossible. This game is fucking impossible.
Yeah, I remember games being like, I remember I go back and I think of games that are like, damn, that game was really hard. But then it's like, no, I was just stupid.
I was just
I was
a
it's
dumb
just
kid.
dumb
kid.
idiot. All right, so I found this on I forget where I found what I'm about to show you.
TikTok.
Well, it is a TikTok,
No.
but as you can see, it's a screen capture of somebody's iPhone
okay.
14 as well. But so this is the Dave Feldposh. I think is Dave Feldposh, right? I am what I am, and I do what I do. If you don't like that, then it is what it is. Sound logic.
Socrates.
David is really talented. David makes fucking wooden sculptures
Squirrels. Okay.
of
Call me
squirrels.
crazy, call me whatever
That's
you
not a
want to.
squirrel.
And also,
I feel
like,
there's
workman's
something going on
comp is
with
important as fuck.
Got a good excuse
Oh,
for
no.
fucking not showing up to work today. Lost my fucking arm. Well,
Hashtag amputee. Did you see hashtag amputee?
God, it was very shocking when I first saw this too.
Oh my, he was so calm.
He was in the most
Bro,
amount of shock
that
possible.
is somebody in shock who was like, I need to make a TikTok. Like,
Squirrels. Okay.
Call me
You-
crazy,
you
call me
led this
whatever
in
you want
great.
to. I feel there's something going on in this world.
well, got a good excuse for fucking not showing up to work.
oh,
I like how the driver's just laying on the horn. Like,
so that's not blood. That's the part of the That's
His
part of his
chainsaw, like, jacket mesh.
Yeah, his like no, not his what is it, the plaid underneath shirt or whatever. And that's a tourniquet that he has there.
oh, the
makes
seat
sense.
belt.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a belt, and his friend is holding it for him
I like that. There's
as
two
they
little drips
rush
of
him
blood.
to the emergency room.
well.
You know,
Oh my god.
he's making sure he's getting his tunes in though.
Yeah,
You know?
my guy. That
This
was the
this came out
calmest.
on the day that the episode of Joe Rogan came out with Dave Portnoy, and my guy was not missing that, even for his friend's arm getting cut off. So,
I feel there's something going on in this
yeah.
world.
Well, got a good excuse for fucking not showing up to work today.
And I like how he's like, yeah, I finally got an excuse to not have to go to work, everybody. I lopped
no.
my fucking arm off.
No. That's you're misinterpreting that. He hasn't been showing up to work. And then this is finally the time where he has a good excuse for not showing up.
Oh,
He
you're right.
finally
You're right.
has
I
a good
fucked that up.
reason.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I
They
fucked
can't
that
say
up.
shit now.
Yeah, my boss is he's gonna eat his own fucking words when he
Hey,
sees
see,
this.
Jerry, give me the business when he sees this, huh?
He sees that stump.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I don't have an update on that guy. So
Well, his probably doesn't have an arm still.
yeah.
But he's much bigger on TikTok than he's ever been.
yeah. Hopefully, you know what?
but
Actually,
he's physically less
let's
of a person.
I will. You know what? Let me just pull up and see
What was his name?
where he is. The David
Dave Fast Punch.
Feld
Punch. Hold on, I'll pull up the video.
PAUNCH or something. David.
Let me pull it up. Oh yeah, here we go.
Is this his?
The Dave.
You're just playing the video again?
No, that's literally his. That.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying so you can read it.
Feldposh.
Like you can literally do this. Look at that. Oh,
Are you trying to see if he's posted an update?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know it.
Oh, he has. He has posted an update. It looks like he's alive.
Well,
Oh, he's a guitar player.
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Sure ain't anymore,
Not
guys.
anymore.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he confirms that he was in shock.
No shit.
Let's see.
Does he have?
I ain't gonna believe this shit.
What?
Went into the fucking gas station and fucking got some food and shit. They gave me a 5-finger discount.
Okay.
Bro, y'all ain't
Was
There.
that-
All right. He's alive.
went into the fucking
Was that a
No, we
stump
can't-
or was that a reattached?
I'm pulling it
arm?
up right now.
They gave me a 5-finger discount.
That's a stump.
That's a stump, dude.
That's a stump.
That looks like a ribeye steak. Let's see.
Man, ain't that a fucking bitch. I was driving through Jonesville and there's all the handlebars come on. So I'm sitting there driving, fucking, I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars, no handlebars.
I mean, at least he's got a good attitude about it, you know?
Dude, he's cashing in on TikTok.
Yeah, right.
That one where it goes, every time
Sounds like
I
Matthew
step up in the
McConaughey.
building, everybody's hands go up and they say yeah.
I thought it said they stay there.
Y'all
Yeah,
see my
they say yeah, they stay there.
go.
Oh.
They say
Oh, it
yeah, up,
flips.
down, up, down, up, down.
AB, left, right.
All I do is win. This is just people in his comments being
Did he
like,
get hit in the head, too? I just got to ask. Like,
Well, I mean, you saw the quality of his work prior to his hand being amputated.
it's certainly one way to put it. The quality of his work.
the way I'm putting
Call
it.
me crazy, call me whatever you
Bed made. Brand new bandage put on.
Bed made. Bed made. All right, well, I'm
thank
glad he's
thank
alive.
you to Dave for giving us
any
a
good?
laugh.
A little something that I've been working on today. I'm not on where I should go with it. Busting my ass just to make a dime.
This prior to his.
Monday to Friday.
This. He still has two hands.
That was my-
because that's his pick hand. If you know.
Yes, right. You got a stump. You can play the guitar if that's
Dude,
your
we're gonna
left
get
hand.
fucking DMS.
Yeah, DMAC. Yeah, just fucking his.
Imagine.
Dude, the whole fucking system's gonna come down on us. All right, his record label is not fucking around. All right.
They can't.
Damn.
They can't afford to.
Dude, this guy has 26,000 followers, no profile picture.
All it
That
took
is
was for
amazing.
him to
He
chop his
also-
arm off.
He also
Did you
dropped
actually-
his
Well-
fucking Cash App, Nick.
well, Pat, we
looking-
can figure out how to grow this
Look,
channel.
go back into the original video and look at the video, or you could pull it up here. Look at the view count on the earlier videos to when he chopped his arm off.
Well, that's what I'm
They
saying.
Skyrocket.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is that like you see, you have like 1,800. This one got 10K for So I don't know if that's drip from like people like us coming to check him out. But even if you go farther back, Nick, here's like couple thousand. So
All right, now go back up to the top.
right here though. This is where he's pulling in 100K,
250,000.
Yeah, like, and then the video got taken down. So
fucking squirrels. Okay. Call me.
oh, does it not give us the fucking view count? Oh, what does that say?
4.3 million.
Before it got taken
Jesus.
down. So
TikTok took me down at 4.3 million.
4.3 million. Damn.
This was a good one.
Crazy. Yeah.
Good find.
Yeah, I saw this and I was just like, yeah.
Fuck whatever Nick's got. It's not as good as this.
Yeah,
Ain't
no,
this.
it won't be. It ain't this. Well, and that's what everybody says about our podcast. It ain't this.
It ain't it.
It ain't it. Anyway, anything else? Anything else we got to cover?
No, we're.
I'm going to check the calendar for next week real quick.
Ooh, what's gonna be next week?
That was the only thing I didn't pull up.
I think we got another game night now.
No, something's coming out because I totally missed.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
Oh, happy Lunar New Year to everybody who celebrates the lunar
The
New Year.
moon.
The moon, yeah,
The moon.
that thing that's
Le moon.
made out of cheese. Oh, it is another game night.
So we'll be back with
Oh, more Harry Potter content.
Potter or Notter Part 2.
Potter, not a part 2. Oh well, hold on. The other thing, what came out this weekend that we missed? Something. There was a movie
Last of
that
Us
came out.
episode
Oh,
2.
Missing came out. You guys ever see that movie Searching
You ever hear about this one?
with John Howe in it from Harold and Kumar?
Nope.
He plays the
John-
he plays the dad.
John Cho?
Is that how you say his name?
I don't think it's How.
Isn't it CHAO?
Nope.
I have no idea.
I think I'll
Missing?
pull it up.
All right. Anyway, it's a sequel to that. The first one was really good. It's one of those movies that's made on the screen of a laptop. You know what I
John
mean?
Cho.
Everything is through fucking FaceTime and shit.
Oh,
Okay.
it's like unfriended and everything.
Yeah, it's
Like that kind of
exactly
shit?
like
Yeah.
that. However, they
Oh,
made one.
yes.
They made one called Searching, and it was actually really good. I watched it with Joe and Danny actually a couple years ago. They made the sequel to it, and it came out this weekend, and it's got good reviews as well. I did not see the first one in theaters, so I did not think we would cover it on this. However, now that it got good reviews, I will check it out when it comes to. I don't need to go look at a
To home
laptop
box
screen.
office.
Like I get it. Like the fucking. I get it. The editing's got to be crazy to pull that off. You know what I mean?
The only thing that I'm looking forward to, it came out, it got a lot of buzz on TikTok, and it was a film festival movie, and then it got leaked and blew up on TikTok, and it wound up going from small indie theater release to a wider theater release. It's called Skinamarink.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that one?
You can't force me to watch that movie.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna.
You're
I
gonna
don't-
hate it.
Why?
I will not watch it because I refuse to give my time to that movie. However, I did read the exact plot breakdown, and I was like, I'm glad that I didn't because I would hate this even more.
Alexis watched.
I hate the idea of it,
short
too.
film like
That it's based on, right?
Yeah, and she thought it was really good. So
I've heard. Now that's the thing. I've heard the short is really good. I've heard the movie itself is extremely divisive. And if you go and you look at, this is one of those movies that they're like, they made it for 15 grand and it got a theatrical release. Everyone go support this, right? It's not like Terrifier though. It's not like X though.
Well,
This-
you have to know what
this
you're
is-
going into.
Well, that's the thing
it's
is that
ethereal horror.
right, but they're selling it as something else. Go watch any of the trailers for that. They are absolutely
In this
selling it
house.
as exactly. So
In this house.
and when are you
Have you
gonna
seen the
watch
trailer,
it? When are you
Mike?
gonna watch
I
it?
haven't.
Eventually. Well, after we
Eventually.
finish, I'll show you.
Cool.
If you all right, I will.
I will
I
put
didn't-
that candle
I
out
will
with
watch.
my bare
I will
hand.
watch Skinamarink, but the thing is like I don't want to
I'm
watch.
not. I didn't ask you to.
I don't
want
want to
to.
watch 2 to 3 minute fucking cuts of just a dark wall that like people literally say they should have had a fast forward
fast
button
button.
in the theater because there's literally 90-second shots sometimes of just a wall. And there's nothing there.
Art.
And it's just like, yeah, exactly. It comes off like, isn't this playing with your imagination? And a lot of people are like, no, it's a fucking wall and nothing's happening. Like, and this isn't one of those like elevated horror, like what are the like that everyone's like, oh no, this is really good. You have to check this out. This really is like Hereditary or Midsommar. Like,
I don't
so
think
it's very divisive. It's not one way or it is one way or
I
the
think
other.
That's an even more of a reason to watch it.
No, I'm not. There's no fucking way. I'm not doing
Mike
it.
and I
No.
are gonna watch it. All right.
All right.
See you next week, everyone.
Yep. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.